When most people think of editing, they think of copy editing tasks, such as ensuring a text is correct and accurate and consistent. But editing involves a lot more than that. Today's editors must also be information designers. They must advise writers about the best choices for content, organization, and visual design. They must ensure that documents are complete and comprehensible, and they must be aware of audience and purpose and how a document will be used. In short, editors must be able to see the big picture, but also understand the many tasks that go on behind the scenes of a document. There are two types of editing. The first is hard copy markup, which is editing that's done on paper and uses a set of established symbols to prescribe emendations or changes to be made by the writer or client. Electronic editing is done on the screen and uses tools such as track changes in Microsoft Word or the suggesting feature in Google Docs to suggest changes to the text. Such tools enable writers or clients to accept or to reject changes. It's really important for editors to always rely on tools such as track changes so that they don't take over a text or make changes that a writer or client may not agree with. There are multiple levels of editing, but in this class we're going to focus on two. The first is copy editing, also referred to as line editing. It involves ensuring spelling, punctuation, grammar, and diction are correct and accurate. Comprehensive editing involves editing of some of those more global issues of a text, the writing style, for example, content, organization, or document design, which includes both formatting and the use of visuals. There are 5 main steps when it comes to editing. Let's take a closer look at some of these. The first step involves assessing the document's situation. If you're familiar with the rhetorical situation, this will seem familiar to you. First, we look at the origin or the exigence. Why is the document needed? What situation is it responding to? But also the audience. Who's going to use the document? What are their needs? What are their expectations for the document? Also, use and impact. How will the document be used? Will a user flip through it really quickly and then put it away? Or will the user read it very carefully, word for word? And then also what should happen as a result of the user reading the document. Finally, the situation also includes accessibility, so how the document is designed to ensure users with diverse needs can access it, but also constraints. What might prevent or limit the document from achieving its purpose? Sometimes budget can be a constraint, but also time. The second step in the process of editing, once you understand the situation, is to evaluate the document. This is where you determine where the weaknesses of the document lie. First, consider content. Is it complete and is it appropriate? And then organization. Is the document organized logically for the type of document it is? Is it organized in a way that allows readers to anticipate what comes next? Visual design and navigation. Look at the headings. Are they used appropriately and are they formatted consistently? Are the illustrations clear and do they complement the text and help build meaning? Are there appropriate visual cues, such as page numbers? Is line spacing consistent? And is indentation used in a way that assists the reader? Next is style. Consider the writer's tone or persona to determine if it's appropriate. Look at sentence structure. Does it facilitate reading? Is diction clear and concrete? And then mechanics. Look at grammar, usage, punctuation, spelling to ensure consistency and correctness. Finally, ask if the document accommodates readers with varying needs. Today's documents need to be as accessible to the greatest number of users possible. In addition, documents often will live in more than one place, in more than one medium. So on the screen, on a website or a blog, but also perhaps in a pamphlet or a brochure. And so it's important to understand how the document will be used and displayed and in which medium. Next, it's time to set editing goals. Identify what you want to accomplish and how to do it, and that consists of two parts. Some examples. Make the document more easily understood. That's what you want to accomplish. By simplifying technical language, that's how you're going to accomplish that goal. Okay. Another example, reduce risks to users by bolding warnings and adding a warning symbol. Improve readability by copy editing. Finally, you're ready to complete the editing. Editing often takes several passes or reads through a document. As an editor, I always begin with comprehensive features because you don't want to spend a lot of time fixing grammar and spelling if it's possible that that section might be removed from the document ultimately. So focus first on content, organization, and visual design, and then you might do a pass looking at writing style. Finally, you can follow up with copy editing, focusing on grammar and mechanics. So with longer documents, most editing will take at least 3 passes, if not more, if you break these tasks down into smaller parts. After you edit, it's important that you take time to evaluate the editing. You can conduct a user test where you recruit a third party to use the document and complete a survey or participate in an interview or focus group about the document. If you don't have the time or budget for that, you can ask your client to review the editing. Regardless, make sure you take time to edit further if necessary. A mentor once told me that good editing is 50% skill and 50% professional behavior. And that's certainly what Angela Eaton and some of her colleagues found when they interviewed over 400 clients who had worked with an editor in the last year. When asked why relationships with editors soured, clients consistently noted things such as inappropriate communication, procrastination, misjudging time, but also things such as over-editing, inconsistent editing, or just not understanding a document. These are all habits and skills of editing that we're going to work with this term and make sure that we leave here with not only editing skill, but good editing habits. Welcome to the class, and I look forward to working with all of you.